Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're back with another YouTube video. The satisfying downfall of Bobbi Althoff, whatever you say it, by Internet Anarchist. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get started.
What happens when a largely unknown creator suddenly attains fame, connections, and an audience in a niche where they have zero experience? Do they A, get labeled as an industry plant?
Well, you do feel kind of planty. We do have the same manager, so is this?
I know, isn't that crazy?
Feels a bit planty.
This is definitely planty.
You got here in 5 minutes. It took me 20 years.
Hey, it has been a minute.
B, abandon their family and alienate fans in pursuit of more success.
You missed your daughter's first birthday for
To be here.
Dark. Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
Or C, totally ruin.
I just want to say Drake his first kid from the world until he got exposed. I don't think he should be talking about parenting out of anybody out here.
Dark. Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
Or C, totally ruin their reputation and lose 80% of their audience. Unfortunately for Bobbi Althoff, it was all three, as her transition from mummy TikToker to podcast sensation came with a whole new world of responsibilities and demands that she wasn't prepared to handle. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be delving deep into the meteoric rise and fall of podcasting's favorite industry plant, Bobbi Althoff. How she rapidly rose to the upper echelons of the podcasting world, what she did to turn her entire audience against her, and why, despite the success, her career is slowly fading towards irrelevancy. Before becoming a podcast host, Bobbi's—
I'm just gonna do something real quick before. See how much relevancy it's fading into. Okay, yeah, that's pretty. Huh? Is it because she's having people on that people don't know? Because what? Juicy got her 1.4 million in a month, which is pretty good. Oh, look, Eleni Chopper 1.3. So yeah, I think it's just depending on who she has on. Like, no one cares about JoJo Siwa. So that's not gonna do good. Alright, maybe she has fallen off. Maybe
social media persona was geared towards making funny family and parenting content with a husband on TikTok.
I don't care what anyone says, there is nothing more embarrassing than walking around with one of these. Everyone knows how it got there. They know what you did. Your gardener, your mailman, your dad, your grandpa, your uncles, your brothers, your trash truck driver, the cashier at the grocery store. They all know it.
Bobbi's parenting TikTok era lasted from 2021 to 2023 and showcased three core aspects of her approach to creating content that would both help and harm her career in the future. 1, a thirst for virality. 2, a reliance on dry but witty humor to engage fans.
I thought it would be a fun idea as you to talk about our marriage. My husband sleeps downstairs and I sleep upstairs where the children sleep, and I take care of them all night long because I'm generally pretty tired, so he does all of the cleaning and he does an amazing job at it. So yeah, that's probably enough about our marriage. Do you think you could go downstairs and get me coffee?
While Bobbi's mummy videos weren't anything groundbreaking, her consistency and uniquely awkward personality drew viewers in and allowed her to garner over 3 million followers on TikTok. With that being said, Bobbi's success in the parenting niche was only a passing phase, as she soon set her sights on something of much more mainstream appeal. By April 2023, Bobbi released the first episode of the Really Good podcast, which featured Colleen Ballinger as a guest.
So you're rich.
Excuse me?
That's why I have you here today. You're rich.
You reached out to me, and I'm excited to be.
So you're rich. Excuse me? That's why I reached out to you. Because you're rich.
Excuse me?
That's why I have you here today. You're rich.
You reached out to me, and I'm excited to be here.
So you reached out to me. We don't have to get into the details about it. I know you're a little bit maybe embarrassed.
I'm also clinically depressed.
I'm depressed too, but I'm not on medication.
Okay. To each his own.
Yeah.
Or her own.
Their own. You're depressed, you're rich, and according to the internet, you're a little funny.
Yeah, let's not laugh too much.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. And we shouldn't laugh about depression.
I wasn't laughing about depression.
Yeah, you were.
Excuse me.
Please stop that. Are you serious right
A
now?
lot of tears that happen.
Do you post those on social media for views though?
I would disagree with that.
You want people to see you crying. Is that so they can feel emotional about what's going on, and they'll be like, I'm not going to hate her because she has feelings?
Well, that would be manipulative.
I don't think that's manipulative.
To me, that sounds manipulative.
I think that you should go back to school.
Even though the interview was later taken
Jesus.
down, it demonstrated how entertaining Bobbi's dry humor could be, and highlighted her unusual ability to get notable celebrities on her podcast, something that would eventually become a massive source of speculation, skepticism, and success for her channel. Nowhere was this more apparent than with Bobbi's interview with the comedian Funny Marco, which racked up over 5 million views and spawned dozens of viral clips across social media.
You like tennis?
No,
Why not?
because have you ever played?
Yeah,
It's really
kinda-
hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
So tennis is a relationship sport,
Mhm.
and you're in a relationship. Do you feel like you're a good partner?
No.
Oh. Okay, didn't expect you to say that.
Jesus.
Things would only get better for Bobbi as she leveraged the popularity of her previous interview to get Drake on her next episode.
Do you think I'm bad at rapping?
I've never
What's your
heard
favorite? What?
Hmm.
You've never heard? What?
Maybe on the radio, your music.
What?
Any of your music.
Okay, so do like you've never heard? You were gonna say you've never
Any
heard
of your
a Drake
music.
song
No.
ever?
Not that I can
never
think of.
heard a Drake song.
Can you sing one?
No, but like I'm just asking you, like, are you gonna be one of like those people who's like, I've never heard you before?
Not that I would recognize. Like, oh, that's
What?
Drake.
Bobbi's dismissive approach to interviewing Drake immediately struck a chord with fans, as they'd never seen such an acclaimed artist put into such an awkward situation. This translated into the video receiving around 10 million views and attracting over 500,000 new subscribers. An interview of this caliber not only exposed Bobbi to a broader audience, but gave her what was essentially a free pass to get any other artist in the industry on her podcast. However, the interview wasn't all positive for Bobbi. Eagle-eyed viewers would notice a highly flirtatious side of Bobbi's personality that wanted something more from her guests despite being married.
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
Like I'd do it.
Not an it.
I know. I just meant like.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to the people watching this. And don't spill water on my couch.
Combine this with the fact that Bobbi skipped her daughter's birthday to interview Drake only degrades her reputation further.
You did. I really do appreciate
On my
that.
daughter's first birthday.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
You missed your daughter's first birthday for
To
this.
be here.
Dark. Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
Where's your son?
Somewhere safe, and it's not his birthday.
Even though the Drake interview was a step forward for Bobbi's career, it would unfortunately set her back leaps and
All
bounds
that
in other
glitched in
crucial
that episode,
areas of
Jesus.
her life. Around the same time Bobbi was having her 1 in a million interview in Drake's bed, her husband was finalizing their divorce. According to today's
Not the divorce. That's crazy.
article, Bobbi Althoff had begun the divorce proceedings back in February and had indicated, quote, irreconcilable differences as the reason for their separation. While there wasn't any bad blood between the couple, it didn't stop people from speculating that Drake's interview had something to do with it, as rumors about the two having a romantic connection spread like wildfire. While Bobbi would deny these rumors, there was still questions about how she got the interview and why she was signed up to the same talent agency as Drake. During an interview on the BFF's podcast, Bobbi claimed that she contacted Drake after he engaged with her viral posts.
Oh, maybe that's true.
But yeah, then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded and he followed me. I didn't realize it at first. Marco called me and he was like, Bobbi, look who just followed you. So I filtered it to verified only people. And I was like, oh my God, like why would he follow me? He's like, he liked the video. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna shoot my shot to Drake. I don't know how this, I thought the chance of him replying was like a 1%, and the chance of him saying yes was like 0.000. I was like, there's no way. So I was like, come on my podcast. I said, when are you going to come on my podcast?
And he just was.
He said,
game right
yeah,
away.
he was ready to do it. I flew out there like I think 3 days later.
Wow.
And then you're off
That's
to the races. Now you can kind of get anybody you want.
Yeah.
Reaching out to Drake this way seemed like a plausible explanation for why a big-name celebrity who hardly does interviews would drop everything to be on an upcoming podcast. But it didn't explain why Bobbi was signed to the same talent agency as him.
I posted the thing. I got a message from Andrew at WME. He says, like, I'm part of the touring team. Can we talk? I said, okay, because I had I didn't know what I was doing. They signed with me that night. And then
So you just didn't meet with anybody else? You're just like, this guy hit you from
First
Morris?
person. Boom.
well,
signed.
I knew I knew a lot. Drake is signed by WME.
Yeah,
right?
they're huge.
Yeah, I was like,
But there's a lot of huge
Massive
people
yeah.
out there.
But I was like, they're like reputable and I need help now. So
Right.
I'm not like, they sounded great. They sounded like they knew what they were doing. They jumped in. I had like that day, I had a team of 15 people
So
helping me.
you signed with them after Drake.
Yeah.
Because the plant theory
I know, is that they helped me get him.
William Morris signed you.
Yeah,
and
I
then
know. I
their
hate that.
work-
They're taking credit for my
Yeah, their
my
world.
idea.
You did it, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's not. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I did all of the hard parts, and then now I have help. But like, I did all of the like getting there.
Bobbi signing with WME after securing the Drake interview implies that they saw her as a viable long-term investment solely because Drake was interested in her. Also, the information about her meeting Drake wasn't public knowledge until after she signed with WME, which means WME had to be informed about Drake's interview with Bobbi by someone on the inside. Whether that was Drake or someone else is unclear, but the way Bobbi tries to play the situation off as a coincidence seems disingenuous at best and deliberately misleading at worst. Either way, the connection between the two wouldn't last long. On the 14th of August 2023, Bobbi's dream interview was taken down, and the pair unfollowed each other on social media. Even though Bobbi didn't directly address the abrupt
He called her ugly and told her to get out. No,
change,
stop.
she did release a video with her unamused expression at Drake's concert. This quiet feud would reignite rumors about Drake being intimate with Bobbi and lead people to speculate on if there had been some disagreement between the two. To finally put the rumors to rest, Bobbi would share an uncensored DM with Dave Portnoy that read, "My girlfriend said you slept with Drake and are getting a divorce. I am saying that is not true." To which Bobbi would reply, "I'm not commenting on it publicly, but off the record, you're right. That is not true." While Bobbi no longer had access to her most viral interview, she still had the interviewing style that made it unique and doubled down on it in subsequent podcast episodes. However, it wouldn't produce the outcome Bobbi expected.
You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish. You need some motherfucking seasoning, man.
Some motherfucking
Damn,
seasoning.
I'm trying to get you to play. You lost in the sauce. You ain't shaking my hand. We finna get you to 25 million. You know what I'm saying? Just a little
Have
sprinkle
a great day,
of seasoning.
Offset.
Just a little seasoning.
All right, you can leave now.
This is my hotel. I pay for it.
Damn, I paused at the right time. This bottle's I paid for it, telling them to leave.
This motherfucker. You can leave now. See how that worked?
In previous episodes, Bobbi was always in control, as she made guests uncomfortable with her unfazed
Not Offset, no sir.
attitude. But this wasn't the case with Offset's interview. Throughout their time together, Offset reciprocated Bobbi's uninterested demeanor and took every opportunity to roast her.
I'm an artist.
Okay.
What do you do? That's the question.
I interview people
Why?
because I want to get to know them.
Why do you want to get to know me?
I didn't.
You did.
Your team reached out to mine.
Don't cap.
You know, it's a silly thing to say, but even if his team reached out to you and you only bring people on the podcast that you want to get to know, you accepted the offer and brought them on. So that means you want to get to know them. Don't play these stupid games, woman. This is why
Let's
you're
not
in the
cap
boat
about
right
that.
now.
That's not flex for the ground. Uh-oh. CAP. Cap.
What was that? Are you putting
Cap.
a song right now?
No, it was cap.
Okay, wasn't.
You should try
Actually,
to make a song.
I honestly don't know how this came about. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Me either.
Okay, well, my team could have reached out to yours.
It's her show. What do you? Okay.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to make you look bad.
They had to show me who Bobby was. I thought they were talking about Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, they had to show me.
Adam Sandler, Bobby Boucher.
The water boy, because you like water, so it matches.
Yeah.
It match a little bit.
Never heard of Offset. In
The
my
water?
life.
Yes, you have.
Have not. I Googled
Damn.
you on the way here and I read something about you.
I had to go on TikTok. I couldn't even
Can
Google
I-
you.
Clips from the interview would go viral across social media as users finally got to see
Offset
Bobbi
funny.
get a taste of her own medicine, with comments reading, "This is probably the most challenging interview for Bobbi so far. This was hilarious, the worst job by the interviewer and the best job by a guest," as well as, "Watching Offset annoy her to her core as she does everyone she interviews was the happiest moment I've had in a while. Bro was shitting on her the whole interview." This was a clear sign that fans were tired of Bobbi's interviewing style, of demeaning or putting guests down. After all, no one wants to see their favorite celebrity get insulted for an hour straight. Unfortunately, Bobbi realized this fact a little too late. By the start of 2024, fans were leaving her channel in droves, as Bobbi went from getting millions of views a month to barely scratching 1 million. The worst part about it was that the few who stayed were looking for any reason to hate Bobbi and her podcast. From people roasting her in the comments for being a talentless host to labeling her as an industry plant, the novelty of Bobbi's stuck-up persona had worn off, and the internet wouldn't put her on a pedestal anymore.
You're not an
No.
industry plant, right?
I am, but
So wait, what is an industry plant to you?
I mean, I don't truly know.
what is
I
that?
feel like it means I don't know. I mean, the industry is helping
you
you.
were
I don't know
planted.
where. I know I applied and they were
So I
like,
guess
yeah.
what I think is an industry plant is. What I think industry plan is, it's like somebody that has been that is tied to someone else in the industry and uses those connections to capitalize, and they have zero talent.
That makes more sense than
you
what I
think-
thought it was. So I was like,
What did you think it
I don't know,
was?
the industry comes
Planted
in and
you.
is like, hey, we pick you. You're gonna be the next. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any ties though, so I would love to have had ties. I feel like my life would have been a lot easier if I had ties. Don't have any ties.
Yeah.
Just have
Well, you do feel kind of planty. We do have the same manager, so is this?
I know, isn't that
planted?
crazy?
Feels a bit planty.
This is definitely
You got here in 5 minutes. It took me 20 years.
Hey, it has been a minute.
At this point, users saw Bobbi's personality as less of a cute gimmick and more of a shallow persona fixated on manufacturing viral moments by being off-putting. You'd think this would be the height of the negativity towards Bobbi, but you'd be wrong, as she was about to give the audience a real reason to hate her. On the 23rd of July 2024, Funny Marco published a video titled, "Why Did Me and Bobbi Cancel Our Tour?"
Funny Marco.
which detailed a career falling out between him and Bobbi, as well as a whole host of creative differences that made it impossible for the two to work together.
I did stand up before, and I'm still doing it, so I understand. I'm learning how to entertain a crowd. And it's not the same thing that you get on Instagram. This is real life where people are going to look and they want the energy and they want the feeling. And I feel like Bobbi was stiff a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey man, let's really, really work on this. And I paid script writers.
He wanted to shake shit up and she was just not having it. That's her loss.
It's like, let's really get him a show. And where she told me, that's not me. Bobbi was like, my comedy is me not talking a lot. And I'm like, shit, this is different. You could do that on the podcast, but in real life, this is different. So her comedy was different from what she said, from what she wanted to bring to the show, which I can respect. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing about me getting mad. I'm not saying you're doing nothing wrong. I can't, but I just don't agree with it. I can feel like I don't agree with it.
While Marco acknowledged that there was nothing wrong with having a different comedy routine, he recognized that they were incompatible and chose to terminate the tour
And what is he
instead of
walking through his whole mansion and shit doing this?
giving fans a lower quality experience.
I just want y'all to know the Bobbi tour, on my decision, I didn't want to be a part of it because I wanted to be a full production show. And I want anybody to pay $1, $2, $5, $10, $100 to really be satisfied. And I understand you're not gonna satisfy everybody, but majority people matters. And I don't do anything for money. I stand on that.
Marco was trying to paint a clear picture of why the tour didn't work and why cancelling it was best for everyone, but Bobbi wouldn't see things that way. Instead, Bobbi saw this friendly criticism as a personal attack and responded in a very aggressive fashion.
So here's my version of what happened. Last year, we were supposed to go on tour, and I backed out last minute because my husband had just left me. I just had surgery, and I was super nervous going into this because I was not prepared. And I text Marco and I said, Marco, I'm so sorry to do this, but I am so depressed right now. I literally want to myself. He doesn't reply to me. And then he unfollows me. I woke up from surgery actually to him unfollowing me. And not only that, in the coming weeks, he would go on multiple podcasts and talk about how much he didn't fuck with my style of humor.
For context, the surgery Bobbi was referring to was cosmetic in nature and wasn't as serious as she made it out to be.
Kind of up my face. So I went in to get my zit injected and I left with Botox in my forehead, which, you know, that's fine, that's normal. I had lines here, they're gone. Here's where I really up. I got under eye fillers, so that's why it looks like I have 2 black eyes. Can't smile still.
Returning to her angry response video, Bobbi would try to demonize Marco and make herself look like a victim by claiming that he was forcing her to perform on stage.
During this tour, I'm trying my best. Every time I'm telling him, like, Marco, he's like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, Marco, I'm trying my best, but like, it's hard for me to get out of my comfort zone of like, I have social anxiety, like debilitating social anxiety. That's why this whole thing of me, it's not fully a character. I actually am socially awkward. I'm socially awkward. It's embarrassing. I don't want to be, so I lean into it. And I am doing my best on this stage. Our last show, I try my best to get out of my comfort zone. I drink a little, and I thought it went so well. I was like, Marco, I did everything you said. And like, I actually felt really good about it. I felt like I really got out of my comfort zone. I really felt good about it. And he's like, yeah, you killed it. It was great. Fast forward a couple more weeks, I might hear from my team that he canceled it. And I'm like, what the hell? Marco canceled the show. Like, why? They're like, I don't know. So I'm like calling him. Doesn't answer me. I'm like, okay, congratulations on the baby. Doesn't answer me. He just won't answer me. But then he's tagging me in posts of Taylor Swift dancing and being like, that's Bobbi. And I'm like, okay, at least we're still cool. Fast forward to today, and I get tagged in a video of Marco standing by a pool talking to everybody about why he canceled the tour.
You'd think with Bobbi's reaction to the demands of the comedy tour that she'd never want anything to do with them, but it was the exact opposite.
With all of that said, I'm gonna go on my own tour since you don't want to go on tour with me anymore, and it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be great.
To viewers, Bobbi's video came off as a pity act of revenge against someone who wanted nothing but the best for her career. Unfortunately, Bobbi wasn't willing to accept anything but praise for her work, and anyone who dared to criticize her was deemed a hater.
But really the bigger issue is that you people seem to not care about your digital footprint. Like, I just don't understand, because I don't know a single successful person or normal person who leaves hater comments under anything. Do you want to know what regular normal people do? They talk about people they see on the internet to each other, not under their comment section. Like, send my video in your group message. Be like, ew, how is she still relevant in your group message?
From fans to former collaborators, Bobbi was at odds with everyone who gave her a platform.
She's trying to fight with the internet. That's not the right move.
And because of it, her engagement outside the drama was slowly sliding towards irrelevancy. To remedy the situation, Bobbi went on a media tour through interviews with Wired and Forbes. However, this would only make Bobbi seem more out of touch and unlikable, as she only focused on making as much money as possible.
So it's like every day I was still posting 10 videos a day, even when I had my 3 million followers. And some of those videos would completely flop and get like 50,000 views. And I was just constantly having to think, and I was like, the only thing that is so successful every time is collabs. And then I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast. And I think I mentally decided that she made like at least 300 a year on her podcast alone. And I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast. So I started it. It was first called So You're Rich. And
Was
I was gonna,
it?
yeah. And I was interviewing rich people.
Money, a recurring theme.
I didn't grow up with money. I am on a lifelong
You want
journey to
money.
get money. I love.
While doing as little work as possible.
I don't have any talents.
You have talents.
That's gonna be clipped, and people are gonna be like, "Yeah."
No, you have talents. You have an interview talent, and you said, what is your? Do you have any journalistic background?
No, just a community college journalism class.
What is your interviewing technique?
Just no research, show up.
One of the recent examples of Bobbi's apathy and lack of care for her career was the first
Tiger, Bossman, Yellow, and Bunny's incredible loud. At times even louder at Rolling Loud.
and possibly last episode of her vlog series.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Bobbi. I've been told that I can dance really well. Yeah. You want to try to do the dance with me? you don't want to do it with me.
Naturally, fans weren't amused, expressing their discontent with the video through thousands of dislikes and numerous critical comments, with one stating, "This is like the quote, 'I don't care about the editing, I'm about to quit anyway' vid." While Bobbi is still active on her social media platforms, she hasn't posted any news on her main channel since December 2024, and the last time she was relevant was when fans laughed at her messy breakups.
Just like hard to imagine finding someone. Just like hard to imagine finding someone who is like truly good for you. It's hard to imagine there's a world where there's like someone who's
Whether Bobbi realized it or not, the things that made her career what it is today were slowly slipping away. Her comedic style has worn out, her celebrity connections are dwindling, and her public perception is at an all-time low. Each one of these factors could cause a significant decline in any creator's career, but having all three is nothing short of a recipe for disaster. While it's too early to judge the future.
That was a good video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out his channel. Don't forget, yeah. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.